NBC 26 News at 6 starts now with Augusta residents and business owners waiting to find out if they'll be hit with more taxes next year. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Paige Tucker. Happening right now, Augusta leaders meeting to discuss a wide range of topics, including next year's budget. The 2013 proposal calls for the city to dip into savings while also adding more employees to the payroll and new programs as well. It does not include any property tax increases. However, whatever is approved won't be set in stone until the new commissioners take over in January. Also on the table, a so-called rain tax for Augusta property owners. City leaders are looking at adding a stormwater utility fee. Money collected from the fee would be used to help improve the city's aging storm drainage system, which is starting to have trouble holding heavy amounts of rainwater. So how much would the fee cost? That's not been determined yet. If it's approved, though, it would not take effect until 2014. Well, the fight continues for a group of Augusta attorneys, which in the interest of full disclosure includes my father-in-law and lawmakers, against private probation companies in Georgia. NBC 26's Lauren Walsh joins us now with the story of a disabled Augusta veteran locked up because he couldn't pay a $186 fee to a private probation company. Lauren? Thanks, Lauren. The last two escapees from the Emanuel County jailbreak are back behind bars tonight. Matthew Finley and Jeffrey Webb captured by authorities in Iowa this afternoon. Finley and Webb escaped with 4 other inmates a week and a half ago. They are now awaiting an extradition hearing in Iowa before being returned to Emanuel County. New information tonight about the South Carolina tax hack. Governor Nikki Haley says she's accepted the resignation of the Department of Revenue's director. The agency's income tax data collection was hacked last month, compromising the personal information of nearly 4 million taxpayers. Haley says so far the investigation shows the state made 2 mistakes. The first was not requiring 2 forms of verification for those accessing tax returns. The second was not encrypting Social Security numbers.
Should we have done more? Yes, we should have done more than we did. We should have done above and beyond what we did, which is why we are going ahead and we are going to go ahead and encrypt all of those Social Security numbers. That has already started.
The breach involved people who filed electronically. Haley says the state will be notifying those directly affected, and she adds that that free credit monitoring service is still being offered. Helping America's veterans transition back into civilian life. That's the topic of a public forum held today at the Kroc Center. The day-long event focused on how the public and private sector can help veterans find jobs, get an education, and adjust to life outside of the military. Organizers say with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan winding down, plenty of veterans right here at Fort Gordon will be looking to make new lives here in Augusta. Historic Augusta board members meeting on Green Street today to add 5 Augusta buildings to its 2013 endangered properties list. NBC 26's Corey Bachman is here for you tonight with how trustees hope to attract investors in this fight to revitalize Richmond County.
Historic Augusta revealed the names of the buildings on its 7th annual endangered properties list Tuesday. Their hope is that buildings like this one on Green Street land in the hands of an owner who will maintain the same historic features of the building and keep it occupied. They say all of the 5 listed have pressing preservation needs, but hope to get those needs met by attracting investors to fix up those specific properties.
It's a way to bring awareness to our history and historic preservation.
The Erbelding Building, Bon Air Hotel, Collie Walker Building, Bowler House, and Lamar Elementary School all made their 2013 list. As the owner of a historic home, Augusta County Commissioner Joe Bowles knows firsthand how renovating and restoring one of those homes can impact the community.
The downtown area is coming alive, and downtown's just the ideal place to try to rehabilitate an old home.
Bowles also says some commercial and income-producing historic properties qualify for tax incentives. He adds owning a historic home is not only good for the city, but can also make the owner money.
Like this one here, you've got 3 floors. He's going to break it up into apartments, and walking through it's just amazing, you know, how he looked at preserving a historic building, but was able to make it into apartments to make it profitable for him to rehabilitate.
Here for you in Augusta, Corey Bachman, NBC 26 News.
Until a historic resource is saved, it remains on Historic Augusta's endangered properties list. The agency continues to monitor the status of the building's previous year's lists and advocate for the preservation and reuse. A tractor trailer hauling cars caught on fire this morning on Interstate 20 around Thompson. It took crews from both McDuffie and Columbia counties about an hour to get the fire under control. The driver says he noticed flames from the back of the truck when he pulled over. The cab and 3 other vehicles were completely destroyed. No word on what caused the fire. The Thanksgiving travel holiday officially underway tonight, and law enforcement on both sides of the river making sure you are staying safe on the road. Georgia State Patrol reminding drivers to put down their phones, stay sober, be patient, and don't speed when behind the wheel. South Carolina law enforcement will also be on heavy patrol through the next several days. They'll be having more driving crackdowns, and we'll tell you more about them on your only local news at 7. A new Japanese study recently made a strong case for a possible link between Alzheimer's and diabetes, looking at 1,000 people over 15 years. It's the first large study that conclusively says people with type 2 diabetes have an increased risk of developing Alzheimer's. Some experts going as far as to refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes. This particular study is the largest and longest of its kind. We have more tonight in our special report.
We are climbing Jacob's ladder.
Alzheimer's patients singing about the need to fight for a higher power.
Soldiers of the cross.
Alzheimer's caregivers talking about the need to find a ray of hope in a dark world.
I talk to family and friends and folks that are facing this. I always want to hear their story. Before they start, I always say, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Light that could come in the form of new research, light that links Alzheimer's to another common disease.
There are a group of researchers now, people that are working in Alzheimer's, that are considering Alzheimer's disease to be a neuroendocrine disorder, and they're calling it type 3 diabetes.
We FaceTimed with the author of The Diabetes Miracle, Diane Kress, a longtime diabetes educator and registered dietitian based in New Jersey. She says the link is significant.
There's a progressive nature to Alzheimer's disease. There's also a progressive nature to type 2 diabetes, and there's absolutely increased risk if you're someone with type 2 diabetes for developing Alzheimer's in the long run.
Any research is encouragement for Jan Wiggins, whose mother is a regular here at the Judd C. Hickey Center.
It was extremely dignified, and it was a place where she could still stay very active and participate to her ability.
But what if researchers are onto something and millions of families could potentially be shielded from this disease? Could controlling diabetes, or better yet, avoiding a diagnosis, eventually impact this country's Alzheimer's rate?
I believe it all comes down to controlling this. And once you control your diabetes, believe it or not, you automatically control your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your chance of a lot of cancers. It looks like your chance of Alzheimer's disease.
But every day you don't control it, you're a step closer to some very serious complications. Kress says prevention is key. If you're overweight, losing just 7% of your body weight could help you, along with monitoring your lab work.
You can see the beginning of problems that, if not controlled, have tremendous potential to land you with diabetes.
For Jan, the developments, the research, they are encouraging.
Our hope is that in my children's adult life or in their children's life, we're not talking about Alzheimer's anymore.
And we've got much more on the web at NBC26.tv. If you want to know more about the blood work numbers the dietitian was mentioning, you can find them online, along with the diet guidelines and supplements she recommends. The annual Trouble in Toyland report is out, warning you about some of the dangerous items on store shelves this weekend before you buy them for your kids. Why the toy making industry is firing back. Details on NBC 26 News at 6. Pretty day out there today. It was good to see the sunshine, but kind of warm.
Yeah, kind of warm, but believe it or not, this time of the year it should be about like today.
So we're pretty average.
Yeah, it's not December.
All right, well, just in time for the big shopping weekend, the annual Dangerous Toys report is out, but toy makers are firing back, saying the report is frightening families at a time when toys are safer than ever. Chris Clackham has that story.
Toys. NBC News.
All right, Sports Director Brendan Robertson here now. Still plenty of local football teams. They're happy to be in the playoffs.
Right, Thanksgiving practice means that you're still in the playoffs. Third a week from Saturday. Steve Spurrier playing
What's he
coy
even
there.
saying? I know. He's
Right.
very, very cryptic.
He knows what he's doing.
Thanks, Brendan.
All right, let's have a look at our Hair Day 4th Day on Thanksgiving as well.
You are taunting the
I know.
turkey
You're
this
just
week,
mocking
Chris.
him.
Maybe the president will
Taunting.
pardon me.
We'll see you at 7, everyone. Nightly News is next.